Hello, everyone, I'm Xiaotang. Today, I want to share with you a few methods for sprouting microgreens using different containers. Recently, the weather has been getting cooler, so the yard isn't being used as much, but growing some microgreens at home is both healthy and a lot of fun. Microgreens are not only easy to grow, but they're also packed with nutrients, like vitamin K, vitamin C, and minerals such as potassium and iron. They're basically a must-have ingredient for a healthy table. As long as you master a few key tips, you can harvest a whole bucket of microgreens in just 7 days. The microgreens were usually familiar with our mung bean sprouts like these. In this video, I also tried out a lot of other seeds, like flaxseed, amaranth, beet, soybeans, black beans, and so on. I didn't take all of them out here, and at the same time, I also chose different containers for planting, like mason jars, teapots, and small dishes like this. I summed up which types of containers are suitable for which kinds of seeds. Of course, I also had some failures during the process, so next, let's watch the video together and take a look. First, I'll use this set of mason seed jars to show you the whole process of sprouting microgreens. These small seeds are very suitable for this kind of seed jar. This one is beet, and this one is purple amaranth. I carefully selected this seed jar. Compared to those seed jars with more parts like lids and racks, this one with a handle on the lid not only prevents slipping when draining water, but can also be propped up at an angle on the table like this. It's truly convenient and simple. After sterilizing the jar with boiling water, we pour in the seeds. For this 32-ounce mason jar, I added 20 grams of purple amaranth and 10 grams of beet. Then, wash the seeds thoroughly and soak them in water for about 8 hours. I soaked them until the next morning. Next, pour out the water and give the seeds a quick rinse. For these small seeds, you can rotate the jar so they stick as evenly as possible to the inner wall. This helps maintain better airflow and promotes germination. Then, place the jar at an angle in a dark place. The angled position is for better ventilation, and keeping it out of the light simulates the environment seeds would have underground. What's even more important is to rinse the jar twice a day. This not only keeps things clean, but also keeps the seeds moist. And then comes the moment to witness a miracle. Every day, you'll see changes in these tiny seeds. Starting from the 4th day, you can let them get some sunlight each day. After 7 days, you'll have a whole jar full of healthy veggies to harvest. I'd also like to thank my little camera for working non-stop for 7 days. You might have noticed that using the same method, the beet seeds didn't sprout. This could be because beet seeds are actually fruits with a thick outer shell, similar to cilantro. They need to be slightly crushed or soaked in hot water to help them absorb water. Next time, I'm planning to try these methods to see if they work. Sprouts are not only easy to grow, but they're also highly nutritious, because during the germination process, all the energy stored in the seeds is activated, releasing a large amount of protein, amino acids, and plant enzymes. Compared to eating the seeds directly, sprouted seeds are much easier for the body to absorb. These high-fiber, low-calorie sprouts definitely qualify as a superfood. Once the sprouts are ready, rinse them several times in clean water, and you can easily wash away the seed husks that float to the top. Of course, the seed husks only affect the appearance and don't impact edibility at all. If you don't have a seed sprouting jar, a teapot from home actually works great for sprouting, because its ability to block out light and the convenience of pouring water make it perfect for growing bean sprouts. For demonstration purposes, I used a glass teapot from home, but actually, the best option for sprouting bean sprouts is one of those opaque ceramic teapots. Also, bean sprouts grow really fast, and since they're usually used in hot dishes, it's best to choose a larger teapot for sprouting them. That way, after 7 days, you'll have just enough bean sprouts to make a dish. Personally, I like to add some homemade fermented vegetables when stir-frying bean sprouts. This not only makes the flavor richer, but also adds more probiotics. It's definitely a super healthy and appetizing recipe. However, not all seeds are suitable for sprouting in a jar. For example, seeds like chia or flaxseed release a gel-like substance when soaked. These seeds produce mucilage after soaking, which makes it very difficult to drain the liquid in a sprouting jar, often leading to failed sprouting. So, these are better suited for sprouting on a plate. As long as you remember to spray water every day or keep the roots moist like this, you can harvest a lush tray of sprouts in just 7 days. These are chia seeds bought from the supermarket, shown here after 7 days of sprouting. However, since they were purchased a while ago, the germination rate isn't very high, compared to using a sprouting jar. With this method, you really have to remember to spray water every day, otherwise those 7 days will be wasted. Once the sprouts are ready like this, looking like a little green carpet, you can just use scissors to cut them off at the roots. But I still prefer using a sprouting jar for growing sprouts. After all, plates take up more space and dry out easily, so it's easy to mess up if you're not careful. But when it comes to sprouting beans next, I really want to discuss with everyone, why have I never succeeded even once? For sprouting beans, I used a steaming basket. At first, I thought maybe the beans weren't active enough, so I even went to the market and specifically asked an uncle to buy soybeans and black beans that could sprout. If I wasn't tricked, then I really have no idea why, because I diligently changed the water for them every day, but there would always be a bad smell starting from the 4th day. I don't know which step went wrong. If anyone has a good method, I hope you'll leave a comment below the video to let me know. Look at those few sprouts from earlier. Once you separate them out, it actually makes a whole plate full of vegetables. After draining the water from these sprouts, put them into a container like this. Try to eat them within 3 days, and you can store them in the fridge this way. Alright, that's all for today's sprout growing method. If you found this helpful, remember to like and follow. In the future, I'll also be sharing videos about different ways to eat these sprouts, as well as more tips on healthy eating and fun planting ideas. If you like my content, you can follow my account so you won't miss out on more great videos in the future. Alright, I'm Tang Xiaoxian, sharing a healthy lifestyle. That's it for this video. See you next time. Bye bye.